Hello beautiful farmers and intending farmers, how you doing today? In today's video I want to talk about how to prepare your own feed at your own farm. Yes, it's very much possible for you to do that. Meanwhile, my name is Flame Bros. I'm a music producer and also a poultry farmer with years of experience. I learned through the very hard way. Yes, I started off poultry farming with very little knowledge, but as I ventured through it, I learned lots of things and I practiced and I filtered some of the things that were not really cool. So you can say you're learning from the best. I'm still learning, still growing. We're all growing together. I want to share with you guys a very vital information about how to prepare feed. Feeds are about 70% to 80% of the expenses when it comes to animal farming, especially poultry farming. So sometimes it's also cool for you to be able to know how to prepare your feeds yourself. And another thing again that will also help you is when it comes to the quality, because sometimes the conventional commercial feeds might not be really good enough in your area, and sometimes too the quantity that you desire. If you're producing your own feed, there's every tendency that you'll be able to cut down costs to a large extent. So it's also essential for you as a farmer to get to know how to prepare your own feed, and also it also help you in the cost of selection of feed too. Yes, it help you, because when you know some of these ingredients, by the time you perceive the smell of a commercial feed, you can tell the quality, you can tell the particular ingredient that are more in that particular feed composition. So without much ado, let's go down deep into the essence of today's video. Before you get down into the process of preparing feeds, there are things that you need to consider. One of these major things are your sources of your ingredients. Especially the protein source, you need to be very careful about that. You need to be extremely careful about the quality and the source you get your protein sources from. The example of your protein source are soya beans, sunflower seed meal, groundnut cake. Groundnut cake also contains some level of protein, but it's usually a bit minimal. It contains more of the protein and also oil. Then the next thing that contains high protein is fish meal. Fish meal is very delicate, so when you are sourcing for fish meal, you need to source for high quality fish meal that are free from bacterial infections and all of those stuff, because if your protein source is not cool enough, it's going to affect the growth of your birds. It's quite easier to get good maize, good wheat bran, and the good wheat for the carbohydrate source as an energy source for your birds. It's quite easy to get good sources of those ones. But when it comes to the soybeans, because you're using soybeans as a major source of protein, you need to make sure that the soybeans are fried, or let's say they are roasted. The essence of roasting soybeans first before using it as feed meal is to kill some ingredients inside of the soybeans that are not necessary for the growth of the birds. These things do not help. Those things that you need to roast out do not help the growth of the birds, in the sense that it doesn't help a digestion process. So those anti-organisms, those antibacterial stuff that are not necessary in the soybeans, you need to roast it to kill off those things before you use it for animal farming. Either roast it or you cook the beans. So but most times it's very ideal for you to roast it. So like I said, the source of protein is very crucial. In some countries, in some states, you might get access to feed concentrates. In some places, you might get access to feed concentrate. So the main composition of this feed concentrate is basically the protein, the premixed lysine, and those other stuff that are usually quite complex to source. So when you buy the feed concentrate, you just mix it with your carbohydrate source and some wheat bran or corn maize bran to add it up for the energy part and some fiber too. But in a case whereby you want to do the whole feed process yourself from scratch to the finishing, you need to be very careful about your source of protein. Then the next thing you need to consider again while making your own feed is that there's a huge difference between feeding your birds mash feed and giving them pelletized or crumbled feed. You know, there have been some different studies, and I myself have also observed it when I was giving my birds mash feed, and whenever I introduce the pellet feeds to them, or maybe in a case whereby I just decide to use pellet feed, I now discover that the birds eat more of the pellets and crumbled feeds within a short period. They eat more of it, and there's every tendency that it makes them to grow faster within a short period compared to the mash feed. So there's been a recent study and research about the difference between the mesh feed and the pellet or crumbled feed. Meanwhile, the pelletized feed is basically a highly processed version of the mash feed. When I say the highly processed version of the mash feed, in the sense that the feed components have already been crushed, mixed, just like what is obtainable in the mash feed. But in this case, those mash feed are now processed and turned into granulated formats. That's, they are being made like seed formats. The whole ingredients are being compressed together and now made in seed format. In that process, what is being done there is that there's a machine that adds little water to this mash feed and now make them come out in seed formats. So that's what they call the pelletized feed. It's a processed version of the mash feed. And the crumbled feed is also gotten from the pelletized feed. After getting the pelletized feed, you now crush them a little bit to get the crumbled version. So birds that eat more of the crumbled and the pelletized feed have every tendency of growing faster than birds that eat the mash feed, irrespective of the quality of the content. So that means the quality of the feed needs to be rich enough. So if you're using the same quality of feed for the mash and the crumbled and pelletized, the birds will grow faster that consume the pelletized and the crumbled feed. Like I said before, the reasons why is this: birds that eat crumbled and pelletized feed have tendency of eating more feed per time compared to the mesh. Because I've also noticed it myself. Let's say you give 50 birds about 10 kg of mesh feed and 10 kg of pelletized feed. There's every tendency that they will finish the pelletized feed quicker than the mesh feed, because while eating the mesh feed, they will take them time to be eating before they now consume the whole quality of the mash feed. But in the case of the pelletized feed, they will just take the seed, back, and they are all done with it. So that's why the pelletized feed and the crumbled feed has more advantage than the mash feed. But the cost of producing the pelletized feed is a bit more expensive than the mash feed, in the sense that you need a pelletizing machine to do that, and you also need a dryer. After processing it to pelletized format, you need to dry them, because before achieving that pelletized format, you need to add some little water to the resin to make it glued together. Another advantage that the pelletized feed has is that most of those little ingredients like the lysines and the premix, those other substance that comes in powdery form, in a mash feed, when these things are being packed together, there's every tendency that those dust can tend to escape in the process of packing, loading and offloading of this feed. But in the pelletized feed, those things glue together because they are already in seed format, remember. So they are already glued together. So the tendency of those little ingredients escaping in the course of transportation or you trying to administer this feed to the birds is very minimal. So that's why the pelletized and the crumbled feed has more advantage than the conventional mesh feed. So these are the advantage. So if you're going to be setting up a mechanized feed mill, you need to get a pelletized machine too to help your birds grow. But in a situation where you don't have a pelletized machine, you can still give your birds mash feed. But there's every tendency that birds that eat pelletized feed and crumbled feed will grow faster than birds that do not eat mash feed. Another thing to note is that whenever you're setting up your own feed for the first time, you need to try that with some few numbers of birds first, because the process of milling a feed is usually very complicated. Although it's simple, but the complication in the sense that if your nutrients are not mixed in the right proportion, there's every tendency that will affect the growth of your bird, especially if you're doing broilers. You know, broilers spend short time frame in the farm. So between that short time, if you're giving your birds feeds that are not really nutritious, that the balancing of the diet is not cool enough to make them grow well, it's going to affect the growth of your birds. And there's every tendency that you'll not be able to now give them feeds to now regain that size as quickly as possible, because remember, the birds spend short time in the farm. So the best thing for you to do is this: The first time you're trying out a particular formula, you need to try it out with a few numbers of birds. Let me say few as 10 or 5. And when you discover that the growth rate and their health status is cool enough, you can now replicate that same idea to the rest of the flock. So always test run your new formulas and your new procedures with some few birds before you test run it on the big birds. You see the same thing that applies to those that are running the layers farm, because if the feed is not balanced enough, that's the nutritional values of the feed is not balanced enough, it's going to affect the way your birds get to lay eggs, or maybe affect the way they will get to maturity and how quick they will be able to start laying eggs for you. So you need to make sure that you get this process right with some few numbers of birds and now replicate the formula to the remaining sets. So it's very crucial for you to test run first some few birds, like I said. Okay, I'm emphasizing most of these points so that you get to understand how important they are. Then the next thing, I'll be coming up with a slide about the different mix combination of the ingredients for you to be able to achieve that for about 100 kilograms. Meanwhile, the ingredients that are necessary for you to meal your own feed are: number 1, the maize. Some people call it corn. That is the number 1 major source. The quantity of corn is usually high. Sometimes it might run up to about 50%. The next thing is soya beans meal, groundnut cake, PKC, lysine, melatonin, mineral salts, toxic binders. The essence of using toxic binders, in case there's any toxic elements in the feed in the process of storing them for maybe a period of time, so the toxic binder helps to reduce that effect. Meanwhile, you need to make sure that your source of ingredients are very cool and hygienic. They are very much okay, clean and free from any toxicity inside of it, because the nutritional value of your feed matters a lot. So your source is the crucial part. You need to make sure that you get them from the right source. Okay, so let's get down to the balance ratio of your feeds, starting off with the starter feeds. You watching this far, I believe that you like what you've just seen. Please smash the like button, and if you're new to this channel, I encourage you to click the subscription button and the notification bell so that you get notification of any video I get to post as soon as possible. And these things also help the channel to grow fast as possible. Feel free to drop your questions on the comment sections, and I'll be glad to answer them and pay attention to every details of your questions too as well. Thanks for watching this far, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.